Our topic here is web system. Web systems generally have limited windowing capabilities. Okay, the frame concept it provides, and also it has pop-up window capabilities. So here, let us understand what is a frame. Okay, so here you have an example here. Look at the example. You can see a frame-like structures on the screen. So here, coming to description, what is a frame is multiple web screen panes that permit the displaying of multiple documents on the page. So here, generally these frames can be of multiple screens. Okay, at a time you can present two or more screens on the system, that is web system. Okay, and how this can be viewed is the documents can be independently viewed. It can be scrolled and also updated. So your websites or web frames can be viewed, and also it can be, there will be scrolling button to scroll the web screens, and also you can update the web screens. The documents are presented in a tiled format. Okay, so you can see that how it is like a you are going to place the tile on a floor, so that is tiling we say. Okay, so same way these web screens or web frames can be presented as tiled format. Okay, so you can see there is one frame here, and next frame you are going to see here another frame. Okay, so like this it is all presented in a tiled format. Let us understand about the usage. For content expected to change frequently, you can use the frames. Okay, you can use the frames when you are going to have content which is going to change frequently. Okay, daily it is going to update thing that. Okay, that time you can have this kind of frames to allow users to change partial screen content. So suppose if you want to change a certain portion of the screen. Okay, or the contents has to be changed, means you can do it very easily in case of frames, and also it permits users to compare multiple pieces of information. So at a time on the screen, suppose if you want to compare the information that is presented in one frame, and also if you want to compare it with other frame, then you can go for frames. Okay, so at a time you can view two windows or three windows or four windows, or you can say these windows are nothing but now we are going to consider it as a frames. Okay, next we have guidelines to represent these frames on the screen. So always represent few frames. Okay, it should be there should be limitations for frames. You cannot display all frames at a time. Maybe 100 frames you cannot represent on the web system. You have certain limitation. What are the limitations? It should be at least 3 or less than 3. Okay, at a time the frame has to be at least 3 or less than 3, so that you can view complete frame in a proper way. So next we have choose sizes based upon the type of information to be presented. Okay, so if you want to what kind of information you are going to present, based on that you can choose different frame sizes. Never force viewers to resize the frames to see the information. So think that you are going to present one screen as a very small screen. Okay, and you have certain information inside that. Okay, so the information presented, whatever you are going to see here, it's visible for you. Then you need not resize the frame. Okay. Okay, so always remember that when if you are a user interface designer, you should never force the viewers to resize the frames to see any information. Never use more than one scrolling region on a page. So scrolling has to be always avoided. So because if you are having the scrolling button, then user has to move his mouse button to generally to view the information which is hidden on the screen. So that's why never use more than one scrolling region on a particular page. Advantages of frames. They decrease the user's need to jump back and forth between the screens, thereby reducing navigation related cognitive overhead. So generally to navigate we provide two buttons. One is navigation means you will be provided with the two buttons, that is you may have forward button as well as backward button. Is it back to, if you want to go back to the previous website, whatever you have used, then you will be going for back button. So another button you will be having on the window, that is you will be provided with forward button. Okay. So this is generally given. These two buttons will be provided for navigation purposes. Okay. So suppose if you want to avoid this kind of navigating the website, then you have to go for using the frames. Next we have, they increase the user's opportunity to request, view and compare multiple information. They increase the user's opportunity to request, view and compare multiple sources of information. They allow content pages to develop independently of the navigation pages. What are the disadvantages of the frames? The difference between a single web page and a page with frames is not always obvious to the user. And here the frames will not work on older browsers. So if the newer browsers will be providing this facility of frames, but old browsers does not provide. So the difference between single web page and the page with frames is not obvious to the user. So user has to understand why these particular frames are being presented on the screen. Okay, if he needs certain information, that is if he wants to work in multitasking environment, then generally these kind of frames will be on use. Okay, so based on users needs, this kind of frames will be created on the system. Frames based pages behave differently from regular web pages. So there are certain differences between the regular web page and the frame based web pages. Page printing difficulties and problems can exist in case of frames. Okay, so suppose if you if you are representing the web page in terms of frames, there will be difficulty in printing the contents of the screen. Okay, but in regular web pages, this you will be directly provided. You might have seen on the window itself there will be a print button. Okay, directly you can print the content which is presented on the web page. Page interaction can be clumsy. Page interaction, interacting with the pages may be clumsy in case of frames, and URLs cannot be emailed to other users whenever you are using the frames. Okay, but in regular web pages you can copy paste the particular web links, and you can also mail the contents to the other users, but in case of frames it will not be provided. They suffer some of the shortcomings of tiled screens. Only a limited number can be displayed in a available screen area. So all frames cannot be presented on the screen because there is certain limitations that is available because of the screen area. Okay. And next we have, they are perceived as crowded and are more visually complex because frame borders are flush against one another and they fill up the whole screen. pop-up windows. So here there is an example for pop-up windows. See, there is a website that is being browsed by a particular user, and while browsing immediately he gets one kind of window with the close button. Okay, so it may ask, the website may be asking you to subscribe to a newsletter or to any magazine, or to subscribe to get any contents from the screen, okay, or the website. Or it may be asking you to install certain app, paid app it may be. So during that time you may be observed that you may be observed pop-up windows, okay, while browsing. So JavaScript pop-up windows began appearing in web in 1996. Okay, before that we did not have such kinds of pop-up windows while browsing. But in the after 1996, you may have observed this kind of pop-up windows. Okay, they are JavaScript pop-up windows, and it may be in the form of advertising pop-ups, polluting the web screens of almost all the web users. Okay, so generally these kind of pop-up windows, when it begins to appear on the screen, most people generally what they do, without reading the particular content, they immediately try to close the window. Okay, so if your pop-up window is used, it may never be completely seen or read by the user. So what user has to actually do is, he has to actually read the content and then he has to start closing the button. But in most of the cases, these kinds of pop-up windows will not be read properly by the user. Okay, so use them with extreme caution. Next point we have, that is characteristics of device-based controls. Device-based controls, often called input devices, are mechanisms through which people communicate their commands to the system. So in previous days we were using only keyboards to interact with the system. Okay, only keyboards were there to interact with the system. But after a few days we had pointing devices. Okay, so we generally use mouse as a pointing device. There are certain other pointing devices as well in our current world. So let us understand various devices providing device-based controls. So these all are device-based controls. So you can see examples: trackball, joystick, graphic tablet, light pen, touch screen, voice, mouse, and keyboard. All these are devices which are going to control the system. So these are device-based controls. The first device-based control is trackball. So you can see here an example how a trackball looks like. It has got a ball-like structure here above the device. So description is, or the definition is, a spherical object, or it's a ball that rotates freely in all directions in its socket. The direction and speed is tracked and translated into cursor movement. So you can move this particular spherical ball as you wish. Okay, based on the movement, there will be a movement on the screen. Okay, movement of cursor on the screen. So that is a trackball. And next, what are the advantages of trackball? There is a direct relationship between the hand and pointer movement in terms of direction and speed. So your speed, you will be moving the ball. Okay, the users, different users will be moving in different speeds. Okay, so we cannot say how much speed it may be moving, but this speed will be seen on the screen as well. Okay, the speed what you move, the moving the cursor will be observed on the screen as well. So there is a direct relationship between the hand and the pointer movement. It does not obscure vision of the screen. Okay, so all movements will be directly visible on the screen. Okay, it may not go out of the vision. The trackball does not require additional desk space if mounted on the keyboard. Okay, it may not require any other disk if it is already mounted on the keyboard. So you might have observed such kind of keyboards as well. Disadvantages. Movement is indirect in a plane different from the screen. Okay, it is an indirect movement of cursor. Indirect means you are actually moving the ball, okay, but it will be observed on the screen. So no direct relationship exists between hand and pointer movement in terms of distance. Okay, it requires a degree of eye-hand coordination. It requires hand to be removed from keyboard keys. So sometimes if if the trackball is already mounted on the keyboard, you cannot easily interact with the system using the keyboard. Okay, sometimes you have to move your hands to the keyboard as well. Okay, that time there might be some problems occur because of less space that is on the keyboard. It requires different hand movements. It requires hand to be removed from the keyboard if not mounted on the keyboard. And so there is a disadvantage in both cases. If it is present on the keyboard itself, the trackball, if it is present on the keyboard, then there will be a problem. And if it's not present on the keyboard, then also it will be a problem. Okay, because you have to generally move your hands between keyboard as well as this trackball. It requires additional desk space. It may be difficult to control, and also it may be painful to use over extended time. So you cannot use generally this kind of trackballs for long duration. Joystick. So joysticks will be generally used for playing games. See here, what is the description? So you can see the example here on the screen. Joystick. You have this kind of joystick as well as a gear-like structure also you have. Okay. So here a stick or bat-shaped device anchored at the bottom. It's called a joystick. It will be variable in size. Smaller ones being operated by fingers. Larger ones will be generally operated by whole hand. Okay. Sometimes only if it is very small, joystick is very small, then you will be generally using fingers to operate it, or sometimes if it is very big device, then you may be using whole complete your both of the hands. Maybe you have to place on the joystick. It's variable in cursor direction movement method. It forces the joystick respond to pressure, movable ones respond to movement. So joysticks generally respond to the pressure that you are going to place on the joystick as well, and you can move based upon the response that is given by the joystick. Okay, variable in degree of movement is allowed from horizontal to vertical. Only it's in continuous. Variable degree, so you can move this kind of joystick in all degrees. Okay, maybe left, right, or any 360 degree you can say. Okay, all direction you can move the joystick hand. Then advantages: direct relationship between the hand and pointer movement in terms of direction. Again, the same point, it does not obscure vision of the screen, and also it does not require additional desk space if mounted on the keyboard. So this is one advantages. There are few disadvantages also. Movement is indirect in plane, it's different from screen. Again, there is an indirect relationship between the movement what you are going to do on the joystick. Okay, so when you are placing on the your hand on the joystick, so movement will be generally observed in the screen, but it's an indirect way of interacting with the system. So indirect relationship between the hand and pointer in terms of speed and distance is also observed. It requires a degree of eye-hand coordination. So you have to observe your screen. You cannot keep your eye on the joystick. Okay, you have to, whatever the cursor movement it's showing on the screen. Okay, so whenever you are playing with the joystick, you have to see your screen, and then you have to do certain what you can say movements on the joystick. It requires hand to be removed from keyboard keys as well. It requires different hand movements to be used. It requires hand to be removed from the keyboard. So the same points are repeated here if you are observing carefully. Okay, and it requires additional disk space. It may be fatiguing for the user to use it over extended time, and it may be slow and inaccurate. So joysticks has again some of the disadvantage. Okay, but the main advantage here is you can move this particular joystick in all the direction. Okay, degree of movement is very high in case of joystick. Graphic tablet. Okay, let us understand what is a graphic tablet. So you can see here in the screen there is an example for a graphical tablet, and it has got one stylus also to interacting with the tablet. So the graphical tablet is also called as touch tablet, and it's a device with horizontal surface sensitive. It's sensitive. The surface is sensitive to pressure, heat, light. Okay, or light blockage of light is also. If it is there, it will be very sensitive. So this particular surface is horizontally lying on the on a plane. Okay, it may be operated with fingers, light pen, or objects like stylus or pencil. So how you can operate is you can use your fingers or light pen or stylus or pencil. This pointer imitates movement on tablet. So any movement, whatever you do on the stylus, that is using the stylus, you may be doing it on the tablet. So that will be imitated. So and these movements will be observed on the tablet. Advantages: the direct relationship between the touch movements and pointer movements in terms of direction, distance, and speed. There is a direct relationship between the touch movement and pointer. Okay. It's more comfortable horizontal operating plane, and it does not obscure vision of the screen. Okay. So this same advantages. Well, advantages is here you have direct relationship. Whatever the movement, so there is, you can say direct manipulations will be done here. Is it? Right, because you will be using your finger or your pen or your stylus to directly interact with the particular tablet. Is it? And next disadvantage is movement is indirect in a plane different from the screen. It requires hand to be removed from the keyboard. So if the tablet is being placed, then you may have to remove your hand to interact with the keyboard. Requires hand to be removed from the keyboard, and it requires hand to be removed from keyboard keys as well, and requires different hand movements to use. It requires additional desk space, So tablet, if you are going to place on the on a particular horizontal on a particular plane, then it will require certain space also. Finger may be too large to, for accuracy with small objects. So suppose if your graphical tablets is showing some small objects, okay, or icons, you can say small, okay, small icons if you are saying. Suppose if your finger will not, if you are going to touch it, touch the icon, okay, it has to respond well. The graphical tablet has to respond well for whatever interactions you are going to do. Okay, even if it is a small object. So finger may be too large for because pointing through your mouse is very easy. Pointing through your finger, it may require certain accuracy with small objects. Light pen. So you can see how a light pen looks like. Okay. So using this, in previous days, these light pens were used to interact with the system directly with the CRT monitor. But nowadays you can interact with the tablets using these kinds of light pen. You have a description here. A special surface on the screen sensitive to touch. You can use this kind of stylus or a pen. Advantage is direct relationship between the hand and pointer movement in terms of direction, distance and speed. So there will be a direct relationship, okay, because your light pen will be directly placed on the screen itself. Okay, so there will be a direct relationship between the hand and pointer movement. Movement is direct in same plane as screen. It requires minimal additional desk space. So it's very light pen. Okay, very small area is enough to accompany this kind of light pen, and stands up well in high use environments. It's more accurate than finger touching. Disadvantage is hand may obscure part of screen. So sometimes your hand may be touched with a different area on the screen, okay, while using this kind of pen. Okay, so you have to be very careful while using these kinds of pen, because your hand should not be touched to the screen while interacting with this light pen. You have to hold it properly. It requires picking it up to use. Anytime if you want to use it, you have to just pick your light pen. Then only you can use it. Okay, because it should be always connected with this particular cable. Is it? So always it has to be picked up to use, and it requires moving the hand far from the keyboard to use. So suppose it's placed somewhere else on the space, okay, on the plane, then you have to move your hand to that particular area where your light pen is being placed. Okay, so it may require certain movement of your hand also. It may be very fatiguing to use for extended period of time. So you cannot use this kind of device for a long duration. Touch screen. So all of you know nowadays you all use this kind of touch screens. Its description is special surface on the screen sensitive to finger or stylus touch. So this kind of screen, touch screens will be, it can be interacted through your finger, or it can be interacted with stylus as well. Advantage is there is a direct relationship between the hand and pointer location in terms of direction, distance and speed. Also movement is direct, it's in the same place as screen. It requires no additional desk space because you will be interacting directly with your hand, so there will not be any devices also to interact. Directly you can place your hand on the screen. So no additional space it is going to take. It stands up well in high use environment, so high-end devices also it will be used. Disadvantage is finger may obscure part of the screen. So you should be very careful where you are going to point out. So your fingers has to be sensed by the touch screen. So that's why you have to be very careful while using your fingers on the screen. Finger may be too large for accuracy with small objects. Suppose if your icons are very small, or if you are represented the particular text in a very small format, then your fingers may be too large to recognize the particular interaction what you are going to do on the screen. It requires moving the hand far from the keyboard to use, and it may be fatiguing for use for extended period of time. It may soil or damage the screen itself. So there is a disadvantage because here the fingers, when you are using, you may put a pressure on the screen, is it? Or if you are using it for an extended period of time, okay, it may damage the screen itself. There are certain design guidelines while having this kind of touch screens. Screen object should be at least 3 by 4 inches into 3 by 4 inches in size. Okay, and next, object separation should be at least 1 by 8 inches. Provide visual feedback in response to activation. So there should be a visual feedback. So visual feedback may be, see, when you are interacting with, you are using fingers, the system may give a particular reaction. Is it? Auditory feedback also will be provided on clicking certain areas on the screen. Is it? Auditory feedback or visual feedback. If the color, suppose if you are clicking on an icon, think that automatically that icon color may be changed. Okay, that is a visual feedback, or you can get auditory feedback also. Okay, while using this kind of touch screens. When you see consequences are destructive, require confirmation of the selection to eliminate the inadvertent selection. Provide instructional invitation to begin using. So you can provide a manual before for a user to generally begin with using the touch screens. Voice. So through a voice also you can interact with the system. So you may be using microphone or your headphones also you can use to interact with the system. So it is automatic speech recognition by the computer. Directly you can interact nowadays with the system using voice as an input. Is it? Advantage is simple and direct, useful for people who cannot use keyboard. Okay, sometimes the user may not be able to view the system, or think that he may be blind, he cannot see the system. So during that time, this kind of voice interacting system will be very helpful. Useful when the user's hands are occupied. So it's useful when, see, sometimes user will be will be busy in using some his hand may be placed on the keyboard or any other kind of devices. Okay, so that time he has to interact with the system, so then he can use voice as the input for interacting with the system. Disadvantages are high error rates due to difficulties in recognizing boundaries between spoken words. So when you are speaking with the system, you should be very clear with your spoken words. Is it? Or else it may recognize it as a different word. Your system may be recognizing it as a different word. So that's why you should have there will be certain boundaries for recognizing this kind of spoken words. Blurred word boundaries due to normal speech patterns. So there is a high error rates because, see, sometimes if you are interacting with the Google voice platform also, sometimes what happens when you are speaking with your system or your mobile, for example, then it may recognize it as a different word and it will be textual words will be shown on the screen, is it? Whatever you speak, that will be all represented in a textual format. You can see that some mistakes has happened while speaking. Okay, so then you can again correct it, and you will have to again give the input, one more voice input. So there are chances high error rates are there. Okay, then slower throughput with than with typing. There is a slower throughput they are saying. Okay, so when you are typing through the keyboards, for example, the system automatically immediately recognizes and it gives a response immediately as soon as you type. But it does not happen in case of voice input. Voice input has to be processed in your system, is it? Then only it gives you the response. So that's why there will be a slower throughput. Okay, the response of the system will be slow when you are giving voice input, and difficult to use in noisy environments, and also impartial to use in quiet environment. Impractical to use in quiet environments. Mouse. All of you know you are using, have already used mouse. Say there is an example here. Description is a rectangular or dome-shaped movable desk controls containing 1 to 3 buttons used to manipulate the objects and information on the screen. Movement of screen pointer mimics the mouse movement. Advantages: direct relationship between the hand and pointer movement in terms of direction, distance and speed. It permits comfortable hand resting position. Selection mechanisms are included on the mouse. It does not obscure vision of the screen. There are certain disadvantages as well. Movement is indirect. And requires hand to be removed from the keyboard. Is it? It requires additional desk space also. It may require long movement distance, and it requires degree of eye-hand coordination. So this is about mouse. About the keyboard. So now you have different kinds of keyboards nowadays. So description is standard typewriter keyboard and the cursor movement keys. So you will be observing a keyboard may be consisting of cursor movement keys as well, and also it is similar to a typewriter keyboard. Advantage is it is very familiar, it's accurate, so whatever you type on the keyboard will be more accurate than you speak. So giving a voice as input is not accurate, we cannot say it will be more accurate, but keyboard interaction will be very accurate. So it does not take up additional desk space also. It's very useful for entering the text and alphanumeric data, inserting the text and alphanumeric data, and also keyboard shortcuts and accelerators. So you know you may be using Control V, Control C. So all these kinds of shortcuts and also some of the accelerators. So you know what is accelerators, already this is being discussed earlier. Keyboard mnemonics and equivalents also can be used for interacting with the system. And then advantages for performing actions when less than 3 mouse buttons exist. Okay, so you can perform actions. If your mouse is not present, then also you can interact with the system using the keyboard. Use with very large screens. So next is touch typist. Okay, so nowadays you get keyboards that's displayed on the screen itself. Okay, you can touch it and interact with the system. And next disadvantage is slow for non-touch typists. Okay, so for good typists, okay, or who is familiar with the typing, okay, they can interact with the system very fast. But for others who are, we can say new users, they cannot interact in a very faster manner. They may take certain time to interact with the system. So it's slower than other devices in pointing. It requires the discrete actions to operate. There is no direct relationship between the finger or hand movement on keys and cursor movement on screen in terms of speed and distance.